Hey you guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ani, and today's video I am going to be sharing with you my October TBR. So these are the books I plan on reading next month. Let's get started. Considering next month is Halloween month, I did try to pick books out for this season specifically. However, not all of them are going to be the spooky, scary stuff, mainly because I don't read them anymore. However, these are mainly mystery thriller books, and I'm predicting all of these are going to be 5 stars. So the first one I have here is, of course, Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Rayburn. I waited so long for this book's release, so it's finally here. I recently hauled it, so why not to start my October TBR with this. If you didn't know already, this book is about 4 60-something years old retirees. They go on an all-inclusive vacation, and on their vacation, they find out that their ex-employer is actually trying to kill them and sent someone to murder them. Of course, they're not happy about it, considering they are all former assassins. So this is a contemporary mystery thriller and humor. And like I said, I waited so long for this book's release, so I'm going to be starting this book fairly soon. I'm hoping for 5 stars. The next book I have been waiting for so long to read. I don't know how I missed out, but I did. And I finally have it. It is If We Were Villains by M.L. Ria. Oh my goodness, another book I recently hauled, and of course I have to read this month. So this is about Oliver Marks, who spent 10 years in jail for a crime that he might not have committed. So on the day of his release, Oliver is met with the detective who put him behind bars. He has one question: what really happened 10 years ago when one of the 7 young actors, including Oliver's friend, studying Shakespeare at an elite college, was found dead? Were they all acting to convince the police and themselves that they are all innocent? This book is a mystery thriller and coming of age, and it is very hyped. I just never picked it up. I don't know why. I always wanted to read it, so I finally got it, and I thought it would be perfect for this next month. And this is, related to Shakespeare, which I absolutely love. So I cannot wait to read this book next month. Super excited. The next book I have is The Book Eaters by Sonia Dean, and I believe this one was released in August, if I'm not incorrect. So this is fairly new as well, and this premise sounded so good. Another recent haul. Okay, so this is about people who eat books, and by eating them, they remember everything from the book. So according to them, thriller books are spicy and romance books are sweet and delicious. And of course, kids who behave badly, they get musty old pages. So Devin grew up in one of these families, and her diet mainly consisted of fairy tales and cautionary books until her son was born, and he was not hungry for books, but for human minds. This is going to be an adult fantasy horror. Super excited to read this. Just the name itself sounded so interesting to me, and I cannot wait to read it. The next book is a weird one, but one that I have been waiting for a while. Tender is the Flesh by Agustina Betsurica. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe I finally have this book. Another recent haul, and I thought I cannot wait any longer. I have to read it next month. I probably could have started this month, but just wanted to put it on my October TBR because it's the perfect time for it. This is about a society where virus has contaminated all animal flesh, and because of that, cannibalism is legal. I know, right? How disgusting. So a human meat supplier is very conflicted by this new law, and what is he gonna do? And we're gonna find out by reading this book, or at least I am, because like I said, I have been waiting for so long. And another book I recently hauled. This is an adult dystopia sci-fi horror, of course. So super duper excited for this. Cannot wait, and I'm, like I said, thinking this is going to be a 5-star for me because this is very unique to me. It's just something I would read just for the heck of it. And then I also plan on reading The Year of Witching by Alexis Henderson. This is about a young Puritan woman named Emmanuel Moore who finds out that she actually has dark powers within her. After her mom getting cast away, because she had a relationship with an outsider, Emmanuel does everything by the doctrine, by the book, and follows the rules, the whole 9 yards. But after she finds her mother's journal and gets called into the dark wood, where she finds out that the church actually has a history and hiding stuff, and what Emmanuel must do in order to change all of that. Of course, this is going to be a historical fantasy horror, and this is so October vibe, so of course I'm going to read this next month. So the next book I was planning on reading in September, but I kind of got interested once again in another book. So I kind of lost focus, if you will. That is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I feel like everyone knows about this book, so I don't want to get too much into it, but it is about a young woman who is a writer, and she is strapped for money and gets a job offered by this man. The man, who happens to be the husband of an author who, because of an injury, couldn't finish her last book, so the husband hires Lowen to finish the book for his wife. After taking the job, Lowen finds out the manuscript that she's working on, that's written by Verity, the author, is very strange, and there are things that she decides that she's not going to tell the husband about it. So what is this big secret? I want to know. This is a psychological thriller and I guess romantic suspense, and people are either for this book or against it, and I want to know, what is this book making people go crazy? Last time I read It Ends With Us by the same author, and let me tell you, people were not lying. At this point, I'm like, I'm going to check this book out. That's why I pretty much hauled it, in my last book haul, because the library wait is ridiculously long. So Hispanic Heritage Month pretty much ends in a couple weeks, and I wanted to include one book by one of the Hispanic authors that I have actually read one book by this author before. So another book I wanted to try because it's been on my bookshelf for a couple months, and it is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. So this is a historical Gothic horror, and it's about a young woman who receives a letter from her cousin who's actually recently been married, but the cousin is asking her to come to her manor that's way out in the country because she's in trouble and really needs her help. So when the young woman arrives at her cousin's isolated mansion, she finds out that the husband is acting pretty weird. So I think this would be so perfect for month of October because that just gives me spooky vibe, and like I said, it's historical Gothic horror. I think it'll be fantastic. I read Daughter of Dr. Moreau by the same author, and I didn't really like it that much. So this, I hope I love it because I hear good stuff about it and I waited so long to read it. So it's gonna finally happen. And then I have a couple other books. These are pretty much continuation of a series that I started last month. And the first one is Starside by Brandon Sanderson. So this is the second book of the Skyward series. So this series is about a 17-year-old girl named Spencer who is trying very hard to get into a flight school, but she's having a very hard time because her dad, who also used to be a pilot, abandoned his team. Now he's got a bad reputation, and that's been following Spencer throughout her journey. There's nothing more she wants other than to become a pilot and help the human race from all these alien attacks. Of course, we're following Spencer's journey and how she's going to, fulfill her dream. The first book was so good. I could not wait to read the second one. I already started reading it, and hopefully I can finish it next month because yeah, it's just so good. And if I finish the next one, I will probably move on to Cytonic. I mean, yeah, it's just so good. I mean, it's Brandon Sanderson. What do you expect? Of course it's going to be good. And then I'll also be continuing Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. For some reason, this reminds me of Taylor Swift's Bad Blood song. Doesn't it? I don't know. Anyway, so I just finished the first one this month and it was so good. I haven't started reading it yet, but I plan on reading it next month. Probably, book 2 and 3. So hopefully I can, just finish it because it's just so good. So Pip is exhausted from solving the murder-suicide mystery of Andy and Sal from the first book, and she has nothing to do with any of this anymore until Jamie Reynolds, one of Pip's best friend's brother, goes missing. So we're going to find out what is Pip's role in this book, and like I said, this is a YA mystery thriller, and this is the second book of the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I talk about in my spoiler-free review right here, and I suggest you check that video out, and I will see you there. Until next time, take care.